Hi, my friends. This is Lada from astrolada.com with your August 2018 astrology horoscopes for the 12 signs. What a crazy summer! You're probably experiencing it already. It's intense with all the eclipses, with Mars and Mercury retrograde. They continue in August. This is the last very intense month of this year. Very karmic, very fated, but this is also the last month when you can turn your life around and when you can make big changes in your life. So don't miss this time. Yes, it's intense, it's difficult. No one likes changes. Well, not no one, but most of the times. But you can make something amazing. It can be extremely productive and transforming month. And of course, one of the most important events is that we have the solar eclipse, which is happening on the 11th of August in the sign of Leo. It's with Rahu. Solar eclipse is about new beginnings, guys. Especially with Rahu. Rahu is material in nature when a Rahu causes a solar eclipse, which means it will bring some tangible, material, new beginnings in your life over the next 6 months in different area of your life, depending what sign you are. We'll speak about that, and some big changes in that area of your life. It's one of the last chances to make a big new beginning in that area of your life where the one of the last Leo eclipses is happening there. So important time. Yes, it can be unsettling, it can be scary because you're entering into uncharted new territory, and everything new feels scary, but at the same time, maybe you're overdue for a change there. At the same time, we have Mars and Mercury retrograde. And Mars is extremely close to the Earth. You can see it when it rises on the western horizon at night, like a bright, red, angry star. And sometimes I would confuse it even for a plane, it's so bright. And when Mars is so close, all the fire in us increases. So we become much more, kind of retrograde planet. Many astrologers says, oh, it's not going to work at all, you're not going to have any ambition, any drive. No, no, no. Retrograde planet pushes you the limits, and Mars is about willpower, drive. And of course, with all that fire, it can misfire. We can create conflict, we can be more prone to accidents, to burns, to cuts, more prone to fighting with people that have longer consequences. But this fire is given to us to make something out of it, and in particular to make some feat of courage, because Mars rules courage, something that you not have the energy or the will to do at other times, because Mars is so much stronger. Some feat of courage, some feat of assertiveness, some feat of strength that you can achieve, some feat of physical or other kind of energetic strength, some feat of so something that you can use this willpower, feat of willpower. And but again, as I said, too much fire can overpower rationality, and we can do some too passionate actions that we later regret for. But I would advise you use this fire to fix some problem in your life, to use this willpower and this assertiveness to tackle issues that you haven't had the courage or strength to do before. This is what retrograde planets are about. And try not to succumb to the temptation to fight, to retaliate, to bicker, to be overly dramatic, and be careful for little accidents as well. But the ultimate goal of Mars retrograde is much more positive. And we'll speak about each sign where it is happening. And it's actually going in Capricorn. And it's turning direct only in the last 2 days of month of August. So it's mostly retrograde the whole August. And then you have Mercury retrograde till the 19th of August. And Mercury is about communication, about talking, about information. So you might have to be working on something using 3 times more of your skills, which what Mercury rules, 3 times more of your communicative abilities, of your ability to, to explain things, of your ability to use your hands or your mind or your skills in some way. It's more challenging when a planet is retrograde because we have to use 3 times more energy. So maybe some of you will be using 3 times more energy and skills to fix some communicative errors, some administrative errors, to organize, to manage, to prepare something, to put final touches, to complete some mercurial projects, which are of the mind, of writing, of speaking, of communicating, of business commercial transactions. So you're fixing something there while Mercury is retrograde till the 19th. And of course, we have, though, a lot of support as well, because we have Jupiter, amidst all those difficult influences, the solar eclipse, Mercury, and Mars retrograde. You have two very beneficial influences. So the universe is kind to us. It doesn't just burden us with one after another difficult influences. It gives us a helping hand. And one of them is the Jupiter trine Neptune. The whole month it is active. The whole month they're within a degree from each other, from the orb, and they're happening in water signs. Extremely healing influence. I've given some keywords. Easy flow, we'll speak about each sign where you're going to experience this easy flow, this healing, help from somewhere, divine help. It might be almost like divine intervention, something happening by magic. Spirituality, healing, kindness, tolerance. You can experience all those things. It's very emotionally soothing. It kind of gives you sense of happiness within in certain areas of your life, and things happening like by magic. And then there is another trine, very rare one, between Uranus and Saturn, which is active the whole August, again in earth signs this time. And earth signs are material manifestation. So in certain other areas of your life, you'd have groundingness, you'd have productive results, material results. You're going to have easy material results because it's an easy aspect. And you're going to have you're going to build up something new on top of something old, strengthen old foundations by incorporating something new, and that is not going to destroy old foundations in your life. It's just going to build up upon them. So we do have some helps, and now let's see how it is going to affect each of the 12 signs. So Scorpio rising, moon or sun in the order of importance. What does August hold for you, especially the eclipse? Let's start with the eclipse and Mercury retrograde in your 10th house. Okay, till the 19th, Mercury is retrograde there. So 10th house is about worldly duties, responsibilities, about career. So you might be having to work on some career projects using a lot of your skills, 3 times more efforts there, maybe with taking 3 times longer or more, having to be more focused on the attention to detail. If you're in some career that's very mercurial, writing, speaking, communicating, if you're in leadership positions that require a lot of communications as well, contact with employees and clients and business commercial activities, this can be a very hectic month for you, especially about completing something, because retrograde is about putting final touches, editing, brushing up, working out the kinks and problems in that. Maybe there can be some complicated communications with authority figures or institutions. Maybe institutions would require you to bring some extra documents or something, or maybe the boss will require you to correct this report, like fix it for me, something, do it fast. This is more likely when Mercury is retrograde in the 10th house. But it starts going direct from the 19th. So if there was some verbal sparring or difficult communications with authority figures, father figures, institutions, bosses, or if there were some complications or extra duties and hard work necessary in your career, after the 19th, all those things start improving and you start seeing the results of those actions in a more positive way, and your career and reputation starts becoming more predictable again. On another level, there is also the eclipse happening on the 11th of August, which will be active for 6 months after that. And this is the last of the eclipses, of important Leo eclipses, which will happen in your 10th house for the next 19 years. And eclipse is about radically changing something. And especially if your ascendant is Scorpio, this can be one of the last chances for the next 6 months to really change the direction of your career, to really change your reputation. But because it's happening with the North Node, and the next one that will happen with the North Node will be in 19 years. So it's about gaining something. The North Node, also called Rahu, which is here, is something that gives us materially, something that can elevate us very fast into higher prestige or higher positions of authority of some sort. So maybe over the next 6 months, you can take up some leadership position. You can grow your business in some way. You can take more duties and responsibilities that involve kind of organizational duties and leadership abilities, as I said, executive decisions as well. Or you can just radically change the direction of your career, as I said, and they kind of fated, because the eclipses indicate something fated. And yes, there might be some turmoil in the process of change of that direction, but it's part of life, and the final results can be extremely positive. I remember when I had an eclipse in the 10th house, that was 7, 8 years ago. From working on my own, I started working with much more people, and it was stressful as hell that month of the eclipse. And it was kind of, yes, a bit chaotic as well. But finally, it takes you, in regards to your reputation, in regards to your career goals, on the next level, so to speak. And you can introduce something new there as well. Maybe a new boss can appear as well. All right. So you have two very supporting aspects happening at the same time. Even though your social status can be changing and those more difficult influences that we talked about, your planet that rules you, Mars, is still retrograde. So the fuse is a bit shorter for most Scorpios, but at the same time they feel like more, they can, you know, be more impactful and make something, use their willpower more as well. But there are some very helpful influences. Saturn in your third house is making trine the whole month of August to Uranus in your seventh house in earth sign, so very stabilizing. You have a chance to stabilize certain relationships by having good communication. Third house is communication, seventh house is relationships, personal business, and maybe something new um, can appear in your relationships as well. Some new partner can appear. It might be personal or business partner that actually creates a stronger foundation for you, that creates uh, that you build up more stronger communication with somehow. It can be that you attract new clients as well. Now, seventh house is clients, people we work on one-to-one basis with in business, or partners, and those new clients can stabilize your business commercial activities. Third house, because third house also, and Saturn is retrograde here, by the way. Maybe some older communications, Saturn retrograde, and contacts that you had can come back, and you can create new partnerships with those people. They can bring new partnerships or some collaboration of some sort as well. Also, it can indicate that you might be using some old skills, or uh, to some already established and well under control skills that you have, which is Saturn, to um, kind of charm or to attract new clients as well. Uh, so you're building upon your already established skills through introducing new people in your life who can, introduce new such skills or exciting new uh, projects of some sort as well. But it's kind of, there's grounding, helping, supporting influence in your relationships, business or personal, with your workmates, teammates, schoolmates as well. You can ask for help from someone who can help you with some manual task, third house, or with some mental task, which is also third house. You can receive help or support with new ideas. You're in something new from someone who can help you with some writing project, with some business commercial project, with some marketing advertising project as well. And it's good for business because it's earth signs, it will materialize something. Is in regards, especially third and seventh houses, are very much business connected as well, because they're about networks, communicating, creating connections, about commercial business administrative tasks like advertising, like sales. You can have some stabilizing new sales, or you can apply old strategies to gain new clients, or you can implement some new strategic sales, to on top of your old ones as well. And it's good if you want to kind of strengthen and stabilize your audience, your clients, reach out to them, maybe with some new offers, or with some reminding them of some sort, and establishing again connection. All right, and then the other good aspect is between Jupiter and Neptune. uh, and Jupiter is in your first house, and it's the last time it makes a trine with Neptune, and for the next few years it's not going to happen again, this aspect. So maybe it's a great time now in August where some of you might complete, because it's the third final of, since the last 7-8 months, it's repeating for the 9 months for the third time, the Jupiter trine Neptune. And Jupiter is in your first house, it's you, so you might be completing some creative project that it can go very smoothly, that it can be very well received. Or maybe you're making, or if you organize some party, fifth house is to have fun, to enjoy yourself, and you personally are involved in it. Jupiter in the first house, it can go very well. Or it can be a good time to connect, or to take uh, to the next level relationship where it's before dating. Fifth house is dating, basically romance. Or if you're married, you can basically bring the romance to the next level in the relationship. There can be some healing of the romantic nature of your relationship. Or if you're single, such feelings can appear for you, towards you, and they can almost feel like soulmate connection for a little bit. And also there can be easy flow between you and your children. You're the first house, fifth house is your children. You can be some very beautiful inspirations that come to you. Fifth house is inspiration, creativity, great ideas. So be open, and it's very intuitive influence. Be very open to some great ideas to come to you this August, and it's almost like the first and the fifth house are very lucky houses in astrology, together with the ninth. When they're activated with good aspects, a person starts feeling inspired, a person starts feeling more meaningful in life, starts feeling more purposeful, starts feeling like you're going with the flow. Things are aligning for you somehow, almost like some magical influence. I think Scorpios will feel this the most, the Jupiter trine Neptune, the most out of any sign. So watch out for such synchronicities that almost feel magical, easy flow, good developments in regards to where you want to go in life, in regards to having fun, to feeling. If you have some important center stage roles to play this month, whether it's to perform in front of someone, whether it's to um, organize some big party and you're the center person, or whether it's to speak in front of public, this is all fifth house and first house activities that should go very smoothly. And creative projects, again, you can get inspiration about this. And also, if you want to get pregnant, these two planets are very fertile, Neptune and Jupiter. They're both wet planets. Okay, so it means that it's a good flow between fifth house of fertility and the first house of you, with fertile planets and smooth aspects. And if none of those applies to you, well, you're just gonna feel more kind of kind, more tolerant. You're gonna feel, and maybe more lucky. Fifth house is a lucky house. Again, I would advise, why not play the water signs. I'm advising them all. If you're water sign rising, uh, so Scorpio rising especially, why not play um, some lottery? Because fifth house is the good karma we carry from past lifetimes, and Jupiter is the planet of luck, sending a lucky aspect there. All right, so there we go, guys. Scorpio, hope you enjoyed that prediction. Interesting things. Some things are stressful, some things are very exciting. And do write what your impressions are. How is the month progressing? Yes, the eclipses can definitely stress us because they change things a lot, but there's so much helping influence, as you saw.